Hey everyone, welcome to another top 10 list, and I thought I'd be doing a few actors. How about I do a top 10 list of George Clooney? Yes, this week the movie Tomorrowland is coming out, and I'm going to see it this weekend. Can't wait, love Brad Bird, love George Clooney, and yeah, Burt Robertson's okay, but still, Tomorrowland's coming out, it looks awesome. So I thought I'd celebrate Tomorrowland by giving my top 10 favorite George Clooney movies. Yes, George Clooney is a great actor, very charming actor, and yeah, I like him. I like a lot of his movies, so here we go. Here's my top 10. My personal favorite George Clooney movies. And as always, before our top 10 list, you gotta give your honorable mentions. And here's my honorable mentions for George Clooney's movies. Honorable mentions are Gravity, The Thin Red Line, Serenia, The Men Who Stare at Goats, Solaris, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and Burn After Eating. Great movies, just couldn't make the top 10. But what did make my top 10 was my number 10, and that is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Yes, as you saw my top 10 favorite Coen Brothers movies, that made my list, and I love this movie. It's a great Coen Brothers movie, it's a great comedy, and it's a great George Clooney movie. I love not only George Clooney's movie, but John Turturro and John Goodman. Coen Brothers just made this movie just so funny and energetic and adventurous, and I just loved it. And ever since I saw it years ago, I've just been addicted to it. I watch this movie once a year, and it's a great film. George Clooney's great in it. The Coen Brothers directed very well. It's very well written. It's funny, energetic, adventurous, and yeah, I love this movie. It's great. It's a very redneck kind of movie, very country style, Texan kind of movie, but who cares? I love it. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Awesome flick. Number 9 is Michael Clayton. This is kind of more of a political kind of crime movie, and I really enjoyed this movie. George Clooney was nominated for this movie, and same with Tilda Swinton. Was Tom Wilkinson? Yeah, I don't know. Tom Wilkinson might have been, because he's great in this movie too. And it's a very good, edgy, dramatic film. This movie is thrilling because it's so well written. There's no action scenes, and there's not explosions and big CGI scenes, and it's not even a big scope of a movie. It's just got really good dialogue and very good writing and very interesting characters, and they make the movie thrilling based on dialogue and their performances. And that's why I love this movie. It was very entertaining. It was very thrilling. I wanted to know what was going to happen. I'm like, oh my god, is this going to happen? There's some pretty good twists and turns. And yeah, I was on the edge of my seat. On the edge of my seat the first time I saw it. And yeah, I still love this movie. It's not a movie I can watch all the time, but I do put it on every now and then. And yeah, I love George Clooney in this movie, and I love this movie in general. It's a good dramatic thriller, and yeah, check it out if you've not seen it. Michael Clayton, great film. Coming number 8 is The Descendants. Yes, this is Alexander Payne's The Descendants. I like a lot of Alexander Payne movies like Sideways and Election and About Schmidt. This is one of my personal favorites. This is almost a tie between this and Sideways. But I love George Clooney in this movie. Another Oscar-nominated performance, and he's fantastic in this movie. He plays a guy, basically, he's pretty much almost like a millionaire, but yeah, he's a very, low-key kind of millionaire, very average kind of guy. He just dresses, he lives in Hawaii, he just dresses in Hawaiian clothes and everything. But yeah, his wife is dying. Yeah, his wife is dying because she got into an accident, and he's really sad, and he has to deal with his 2 daughters. But then he finds out his wife has actually been cheating on him for a while, and he doesn't know, his wife is dying, but he's just so angry with her. Should I be pissed at her? Should I forgive her because she's dying? And he goes through a lot of things, and basically him and his 2 daughters want to find out who's this guy who's fooling around with his wife, and is his wife in love with him, because he finds out his wife might be in love with this other guy and everything. But then you find out this guy really doesn't give a shit about her, and yeah, George Clooney goes through a lot in this movie. He goes through grief, but also it's very, very funny also in this movie. And there's also this kid in this movie. He's the friend of Shailene Woodley. He is fucking hilarious. So funny. And yeah, this movie is a very good drama comedy, and it's good for a family, older family, because it's a rated R movie, but it's good to watch with the family when you're older, 15 and up maybe, but it's a great movie. It talks a lot about loss and about family and everything, and there's some good comedy, but there's also a lot of good drama and a lot of solid performances by the whole cast, and I love this movie, and George Clooney is fantastic. Good job, George Clooney, and good job, Alexander Payne. Fantastic movie. Coming at number 7 is The Ides of March. Yes, this is Ryan Gosling and George Clooney. The reason, this is a Ryan Gosling movie because he's the lead. George Clooney is probably the 3rd main character. The reason I'm putting this at number 7 is because it is a better movie than The Descendants, in my opinion. But George Clooney wrote, directed, and produced, so it is a George Clooney movie. Even though he's not the lead in the movie, it is still his movie. He made this movie. And this is one of my favorite political movies. Maybe not my all-time favorite political movie, but it's up there. This movie is fantastic. Between its dialogue, its script, direction, and performances by the whole cast. There's a lot of big stars in this movie, and they're all fantastic. Ryan Gosling, George Clooney, Paul Giamatti, Marissa Tomei, Jeffrey Wright, Philip Seymour Hoffman, all of them are fantastic in this movie. And yeah, most of the characters in this movie are very despicable, unlikable characters, but that's what you are sometimes in political races. You gotta get dirty to win the frickin' election. And yeah, it's so riveting to watch, and I fucking love this movie. George Clooney was exceptional in this movie, his performance and his direction. He directed the movie very, very well. I can tell he knows a lot about politics, and yeah, this movie was very, very, very good. And yeah, when I first watched this movie in 2011, I was never into political movies. I liked a few of them, but this movie is what got me into political movies. I watched this movie, I'm like, I don't know, this movie might be good, but this was the year of Ryan Gosling, with Drive, Crazy Stupid Love. But I gave this movie a watch, and I freaking loved it, and I still love it to this day. It's a very good movie, very good climax, very good acting, and yeah, George Clooney, good job. Coming number 6 is Out of Sight. Yes, Out of Sight. Out of Sight. Yeah, this is a really good movie, and yeah, him and Jennifer Lopez. This is one of the few Jennifer Lopez performances I actually do like. I can't stand her as an actress. Yes, I got both of them. Trouble with Cruelty is also a good George Clooney movie. I didn't put it in my honorable mentions because I'm not like high-end about this movie. I don't think it's a fantastic movie, but it's okay. But Out of Sight is a fantastic movie. It's a good action, comedy, drama, thriller, crime movie. Yeah, it's got a lot of genres, and they all work. George Clooney's great. Jennifer Lopez is great. Vin Rhames is great. Don Cheadle's awesome. Actually, it's one of my favorite Don Cheadle performances in this movie. And yeah, I really like it. Entertaining from start to finish. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I know that's quick, but yeah, check it out. Out of Sight. Out of Sight. Coming number 5 is the movie Three Kings. Yes, we three kings are stealing the gold. Mark Wahlberg, y'all. Oh, God, that's a terrible impression, but yeah, take an interest in science. I'm a terrible Mark Wahlberg impressionist. Impressionist in general, but anyways, Three Kings, yes. David O. Russell, I love David O. Russell. Other than Accidental Love, I love all David Russell movies, and this is my favorite David Russell film, and George Clooney's in it. George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, Spike Jonze, Ice Cube, all of them, fantastic. This is kind of like a war comedy, because there's a lot of comedy in the movie, but every David Russell movie has a little comedy, a little dark humor in it. And it's great. I love the war scenes. It's very good. It's very freaking action-packed. It's very gritty, and I love it. George Clooney is awesome in this movie. Mark Wahlberg is awesome in this movie. Ice Cube is awesome in this movie. And it's David Russell. He wrote and directed the movie very, very well. And yeah, it's awesome. Entertaining. Love war movies. Check it out. Love comedies. Still check it out anyways. It's a good movie. Coming number 4 is From Dusk Till Dawn. Yes, it's a dark night. Dark Knight. Yes, Quentin Tarantino co-stars in this movie with them, and yeah, I love this movie. This is a Robert Rodriguez movie. Quentin Tarantino helped out, but this is a Robert Rodriguez movie. The first act kind of seems like a Tarantino film, but the second and third act is very Robert Rodriguez. Yeah, if you know Robert Rodriguez, you know what I'm talking about. This movie is awesome. This is one of the unique performances George Clooney gives, because he is a foul-mouthed criminal, and this is the first time I've ever seen George Clooney just swear a lot and shoot people in the face a lot. And he's great. I love him as Seth Gecko. Love Tarantino as Richie as well. And yeah, Harvey Keitel and Juliette Lewis are also good in it. And you got Cheech Marin, Danny Trejo, they're all in it. But yeah, I love this movie, and it's so action-packed. I love these characters, especially the Gecko brothers. They're just such fucking crazy people, but they're just so awesome to watch. And I love George Clooney in it, and yeah, right when they get into the titty twister, that's when all shit goes loose, and it's awesome. They battle fucking vampires, yes. It starts off as a crime story, then it turns into a vampire movie, and yeah, Salma Hayek is also in this movie. She is very good looking, and yeah, I love George Clooney in this movie. It's a very unique performance George Clooney gives. But yeah, it's just entertaining. It's gory, it's a little cheesy, but I love it. From Dusk Till Dawn, awesome. It's a dark night. Coming number 3 is Ocean's 11. I actually enjoy all the Ocean's movie. I even enjoy 12 and 13. Some people don't like them. I don't mind them. Ocean's 11 is hands down the best one. And George Clooney is the lead, and he's awesome. Everyone's awesome in this movie. Brad Pitt, Julia Roberts, Matt Damon, Don Cheadle, Scott Glenn, every one of them, Andy Garcia, all of them are fantastic, and I love this movie. I love Ocean's 11. It's a good comedy crime movie, and yeah, it's actually better than the original. I didn't even like the original Ocean's 11, but yeah, this movie was really, really good. I'm entertained. I love all these characters. These characters are great, especially minus Matt Damon and Danny Ocean. Is that his name? Danny Ocean? If it's not, that's embarrassing. But yeah, I love George Clooney and Matt Damon in this movie. I also enjoy Brad Pitt and Julia Roberts, but yeah, this is a very just engaging movie. It's just so entertaining. It's basically almost like an hour and a half heist, and then like the 20-minute beginning leading up to the heist, but then there's like an hour and a half straight heist. They're robbing Las Vegas, and that's badass. And this movie is badass, and I love it. George Clooney's great. Steven Soderbergh directed this movie. He directed it very well, and yeah, it's just a really good crime movie. If you love bank robbing or just any robbery kind of movies, you'll love this movie. It's no heat, but it's still a great movie. Love Ocean's 11. Coming number 2 is Good Night and Good Luck. Yes, Good Night and Good Luck. This is another movie that actually does not star George Clooney. Again, he's like the third or fourth main character. But this was written, directed, and produced by George Clooney, just like the Ides of March. This was his first one, though, and this is his best one. This is actually one of my all-time favorite movies. This is a very good political, media, dramatic film, and I love it. David Strathairn, who plays, what's his name? Edward R. Murrow, yeah. Yes, the lead character, David Strathairn, who plays Edward R. Murrow, is fantastic. And this movie takes place during the McCarthy era. And yeah, this is basically this news studio. Basically, they report the news and everything. Basically, McCarthy is like accusing them of being communists because basically they're telling the truth. Basically, that happened in the United States in the 1950s during the McCarthy era. And yeah, basically this television crew is basically standing their ground, telling the truth, telling what the right thing to do is, and telling the truth about the government. And McCarthy is like accusing them, oh, they're freaking terrorists, they're communists and stuff. And yeah, but this crew did not stand for it, and they fought against it, and it's riveting to watch. This entire movie is dialogue. That's why I love it. My favorite thing in movies is dialogue, and it's fantastic. George Clooney wrote this movie super, super well. He directed it very well, but the writing was just top notch. There's 6 Academy Awards. I don't know why David Strathairn didn't get the win. He was nominated for lead actor. He should have got the win because he was fantastic. I loved this movie. It's a beautifully written movie, and I learn a lot every time I watch this movie, and I just enjoy this movie so much, and it's one of George Clooney's best movies. Out of the directing movies he did, I think he's done 3. This is his best one so far. Loved Ides of March, but Good Night and Good Luck is a much better film. Good night and good luck. My number 1 favorite George Clooney movie is Up in the Air. Yes, Jason Reitman's Up in the Air. I freaking adore this movie. I like Good Night and Good Luck. This is actually one of my all-time favorite movies. I love it. George Clooney is fantastic. This is his best performance of his entire career. And that's saying something because he's got a lot of good performances. But his performance in this movie is top-notch. Vera Farmiga, best she's ever done. Anna Kendrick, best she's ever done. I love this movie. Jason Reitman wrote and directed this movie, and he did a lot of good other good movies like Thank You for Smoking and Juno and stuff, and Young Adult, but this is his best movie. Up in the Air is a brilliant movie. It's a good, dramatic comedy. Basically, George Clooney plays a guy, and all he does is fly around to a bunch of states, and he fires people. That's his job. He fires people. Isn't that the greatest job ever? Because companies are too much of pussies to fire their employees, so they hire people like George Clooney in this movie to fire them for them. And yeah, he basically travels around all the United States, and he fires people. And yeah, it's awesome to watch. And basically, it takes a very keen person to do that, a very despicable person at times to do that. But George Clooney doesn't care, and he's a really, really, really good actor in this movie. His performance is fantastic. Like, I love his character arc in this movie, too, and the relationship between him and Vera Farmiga is very, very good. And I love his relationship between him and Anna Kendrick. Like, Anna Kendrick has to trade her and stuff. And yeah, the shit they go through is very fascinating, and yeah, I love this movie. Performances are good. The writing is amazing. The direction is amazing. How this movie ends is whoa. It's almost kind of thought-provoking. And I loved it. I loved this movie. I can't get enough of this movie. I'm a little sad, actually. It took me a while to watch this movie. I did not watch this movie when it originally came out in 2009. I watched it in like 2012. I just randomly stumbled upon it. Like, I haven't seen it. Up in the Air. Is it good? I watched it. I was blown away by it. I bought the DVD for like $5 at Walmart, and then yeah, I think I've worn the DVD by the Blu-ray because this movie is brilliant. It's worth watching in high definition, even though it's not an action movie. But I still love this movie. It's a great movie. If you're not seen this movie, check it out. It's fantastic. If you love dramas or you love comedies, you'll adore this movie. Especially if you love the Clunes. If you love George Clooney, you'll love this movie. Up in the Air. Great film. Great movie. So yeah, that was my top 10 favorite George Clooney movies. So please, in the comment section below, tell me, what is your favorite George Clooney movies? Give me your top 10s. Comment below, let me know. And did you agree with me? Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and enjoy the dark side.